Let's face it, you don't wear the pants in the family, but you do wear her panties, don't you? Pipe mom.
Like this video, subscribe, and turn on notifications, and once you're done, leave a comment saying that I subscribed, and you will be replied to. We'll be doing as many as we can. 2017 has been an interesting year thus far. We've seen both huge superstar returns from being away from the company, and we've seen impactful superstar returns from injury. I'm D Wicket, and these are the 10 biggest WWE returns of 2017. Number 10, Chris Jericho. This wasn't a huge return. In fact, it wasn't even announced in advance. Chris Jericho lost to Kevin Owens at WrestleMania in his US title matchup, and then randomly showed up like a week ago and used his rematch clause. Fair enough. I mean, he lost his title. He was owed a rematch, but you think, I mean, it's Chris Jericho. You think they'd hype it up a little bit, you know, tell us he was back. I mean, this was easily the biggest story of late 2016 to early 2017. It deserved a little bit more than just, hey, it's me, I'm back. Also, where was he this week on SmackDown? Where did he go?
It's the return of Jericho!
What are you doing here?
Quiet.
What? No.
Quiet.
What are you doing here?
Quiet.
You're not supposed to.
Quiet.
Tell me why you're here. What are you doing here?
Quiet.
What are you doing here? What?
Number 9, the Great Khali. Oh, fuck wrestling. This was just stupid. Happening at the recent SmackDown Live pay-per-view Battleground, he came out in the prosperous name of Jinder Mahal during his outstanding Punjabi Prison matchup with Randy Orton. This was a dumpster fire. Think of it this way. The match was already bad enough, right? Randy Orton versus Jinder Mahal, bad. Plus, in a prison where no one could see what was happening, and the first 10 minutes being the exact same boring, repetitive shit over and over again, things sort of picked up towards the end, but everything went to shit once Jinder's music hit for the second time that night. That's right, the Great Khali returned to Jinder Mahal's music, not even his own. What? Then he just grabbed Randy's neck through the cage, and Jinder watched and then climbed all the way up and over while Randy's just stuck there in the one hand grab for like 45 seconds. Just, you know what, it gets even weirder because WWE.com put Great Khali back on the active roster listing, and then the next day took him off and moved him back into the alumni section. Is he just gone again? What was the point? Why did both entrants come back in the last 2 weeks and then just disappear the next night?
That's the creator. That's the creator of the match. The Punjabi Prison. That's the Great Khali.
You're
talking about a shock.
Orton's got no choice but to
He's shaking
He's reaching through the bars. Oh my God!
Randy
Khali telling Mahal to climb.
Number 8, Mauro Ranallo. Oh, this was a mess before, but thankfully, we have something much happier. Mauro Ranallo left the WWE for a little while on very shaky terms, despite what he said on Twitter and in interviews. It was heavily rumored that JBL's bullying caused SmackDown's best, emphasis on best, commentator to leave WWE, but luckily for us, he's returned to the company. Sort of. He's in NXT now, so he's not back on SmackDown, unfortunately. So it's not all the way returned. But you know what? I will take it. I will take it for my NXT clips. I love you, Mauro. Number 7, Finn Balor. Finn Balor had the weirdest 2016. He got called up from NXT to the main roster, immediately shot himself into the SummerSlam Universal Championship match, won, becoming the inaugural WWE Jam-colored championship title belt holder. Then the next night came out to tell us that he injured his shoulder in that very match, and then left us. He was out for a long time, just about 9 months in fact, but the night after WrestleMania 33, we finally got back our Finn Balor. Number 6, Maria. This one was underwhelming. Maria was easily one of the most beloved WWE divas of the mid-2000s. She was sort of a ditzy, silly, innocent character, except never mind that innocent part, here's Maria during a bikini contest. She left for a long while, working in indies as well as both New Japan and TNA alongside husband Mike Bennett, trading her Dumbo persona for a much more bitchy valet gimmick, and it worked very well for her, and since she's returned, it's definitely been a bit underwhelming, as she just showed up on pay-per-view one day with her husband, now rebranded Mike Kanellis.
The First Lady in WWE.
And you found me.
Number 5, Samoa Joe. Samoa Joe's run in 2017 may seem like a main roster debut, his WWE debut happening down in NXT in 2015, but you technically would be wrong. Samoa Joe actually debuted in WWE way back in the early 2000s when he had a few matches on shows like Heat and Velocity. That means, technically speaking, like the technical jackass I am, Samoa Joe didn't debut the night after Royal Rumble 2017. He returned the night after Royal Rumble 2017.
I am trying so hard not to be that guy that ends careers.
Seth is going to... Who the... Oh my God, it's Samoa Joe! Samoa Joe from NXT! The two to fight back. Triple H's never laid a hand on Rollins.
Samoa Joe's laying plenty of hands on Rollins at his feet and a set.
I agree with you, Corey. This is a helpless situation.
Number 4, Matt Hardy. Hasn't it been weird? Matt Hardy returned at WrestleMania 33 this year, and once we saw his name, most people thought one thing. Is he broken? If you somehow don't know what that means, let me explain broken Matt Hardy to you in simple terms. Take Matt Hardy, then add a sort of British accent, then add some brain damage, and then add a dilapidated boat. Unfortunately, he's been somewhat of a mix between V1 Matt Hardy and broken Matt Hardy, swinging back and forth on a near minutely basis. Because of this, Matt's star power has seemed a bit weak as of late. However, on the contrary, number 3, Jeff Hardy, the popular one. For years and years, the Hardys were an over tag team, but whenever they were split apart, Jeff would always clearly be the one that's talked about. Incredibly, Matt Hardy managed to break the mold last year by creating his masterpiece of insanity that was the Broken Brilliance. However, as long as that's not officially a part of WWE, there's a clear winner in terms of Hardy popularity, and that will always be Jeff, who also returned to WrestleMania 33 alongside his brother.
So here we go.
What?
That there is one more team involved in this match.
Gotta be kidding me! Things are about...
Helped innovate the ladder match, make it what it is today.
It's insane!
Number 2, Jim Ross. Good old JR. Hey, have you noticed something about WWE lately? They've gotten commentators that are very one-sided. They're either beloved or hated all the time. No more guys like Josh Matthews where everyone's just like, bleh, who cares? There's either beloved geniuses like Corey Graves, Nigel McGuinness, and Mauro Ranallo, or you have the pieces of dog shit everyone hates like David Otunga, Byron Saxton, David Otunga. Jim Ross rejoins the former group as he returned at WrestleMania as well for the main event and has since signed a 2-year contract. Honorable mention goes to dickhead Dean Ambrose. He's not back, but his attitude is. Please turn heel on Seth Dean. And number 1, Kurt Angle. You suck, etc. Kurt Angle, the Olympic hero, the fucking wrestling machine, is back as the Raw general manager. Oh, it's kind of depressing, isn't it? Well, here's hopes that he has at least one more match in him, and that match is against AJ Styles, please. Thank you very much. I would quite like that.
Ladies and gentlemen, your new general manager of Raw, Kurt Angle!
That's a rousing endorsement. Better do a good job. I'm sure Kurt Angle will do a good job. This is a great choice.
I only have one thing to say. It's great to be back on Monday Night Raw!
Hey, right here. Hopefully you leave, Saxton.
I don't want to go anywhere. I'm excited too.
Quick like, subscribe, and follow me on Twitter at DWickedYT so that the Giant Gonzalez doesn't return next week.